Hey, what's going on YouTube? This is Jedi Da Vinci here with Vape News Now. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, like us on Facebook, check out our Instagram, and even check us out on Twitter. Alright, today I'm actually going to be doing a review on the VSmoke, V standing for Vitiman. It's actually the Ultra Premium Hookah Flavor E-Liquid. It's a VG100. 10 milligram nicotine. This is actually the low version of it. I'm going to do a review on the blueberry mint, the candy you all know as Swedish Fish, and watermelon breeze. Alright, I've actually tried all three of these. In fact, I've tried even more, but for this review, I'm only going to do the three that I mentioned. I've tried them on a standard cartomizer, E-Cig. I've also tried them on a drip tip. I'm going to give you some pros and cons of both, what I like about this, what I don't like about it, and give you some details on the product. Right, the first one I'm actually going to show you guys is the Swedish Fish. This was the one that really caught my eye in the beginning, just because I grew up really liking this candy. It's a 15 milliliter bottle, which is pretty good. It's got a needle tip dripper bottle, which is pretty cool just because it's easier to actually load up the cartridges without spilling any e-juice or anything. Another thing that really caught my eye is that it has vitamins in there. You've got your vitamin C, you've got B12, and you've got echinacea in there, so that's a major plus. A couple things I actually noticed about the VSmoke is they put nutrition facts on the back of the box. Although there's actually nothing but the serving size 73, 2-drop serving on here. There's nutrition facts. The boxes aren't very consistent yet, being this is such a new brand. Some of them have nutrition facts, some of them don't. Some of them say a few different things, but this one says VSmoke LLC, this one says Blow LLC. It's all the same company. So that's just a couple other things that I've noticed. So this isn't actually a true unboxing. I've actually been puffing on these for about 3 days now, but I haven't really smoked too much of each flavor, just enough to really give it a good try. One thing you'll notice when you open the box, there's a strong odor of the flavor, which is very appealing. It definitely draws your attention. As I said, this is Swedish Fish, one of my favorite candies. When I actually smell it, it's amazing. I mean, it's super refreshing, just the smell of it. You can see it's a pretty nice bottle here. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some of the Swedish Fish flavor actually in my standard cartomizer setup here. Just a regular E-Go-T battery, standard size. Go ahead and load this guy up. I've actually put quite a bit in here already. Been pretty satisfied with the results. A couple little things I'll point out to you though. As I said, you can see the needle drip tip on there, which is pretty cool. The tank that I actually have here is a Kangertech T3 3ml bottle. It's pretty standard. Now I'm going to go ahead and take a little of the Swedish Fish. Pop that in there. Grab my E-Go-T. Try that on there. Alright, let's go ahead and take a few hits now. Alright, so let's go ahead and hit this thing. As you can see on your first rip, you don't get actually a lot of vapor production. That's actually one of the things that I noticed with VSmoke, Vitamin Smoke, compared to a lot of the other vapor smokes or e-liquids is that it actually takes a little bit to build up. It's not just soaking into the wick. I don't actually know, it just has to take a little while to prime or something, but let's see how long this takes to get started. As you can see, it's building up. This is pretty standard. This is one of the things that I actually don't like about the juice. The flavor is good, excellent flavor. It doesn't have high vapor production on your standard cartridges, but with the drip tip, it's super efficient. I'll talk about that in a little bit. Let's go ahead and try this one more time. And just to let everybody know out there that, you know, it has nothing to do with this setup right here. I've also tried it on the E-Vic and the Pro Tank 2. Tried it in the Pro Tank 1. So I've tried it in a few different setups. It primes the same way. It's very slow in the beginning. Vapor production, I'd give it about a 5 out of 10 stars. So that's pretty much where it's at as far as on your standard cartridges. But as I said, a whole nother story on your drip tips, and we'll be talking about that soon. Alright, I've actually been puffing on this thing now for a couple minutes, and as I said earlier, once you really get it going, you can notice a big difference from the first couple tries. So my overall rating, specifically on the Swedish Fish, I'll do a breakdown for you. On flavor, I'd honestly give it a 9 on flavor. It's got amazing flavor. Smoke production, on your standard cartridges, I'd give it honestly 5 or 6 stars out of 10. On overall packaging on the VSmoke, I'd give it a 8 out of 10. It's pretty good, it's appealing, it's got some metallic writing on there. Honestly, the main thing that really caught my eye though was just the fact that it had the vitamins in there, and you know, do I feel them when I smoke? I think I feel something, but I'm not really sure. That'll be up to you if you want to leave that in the comments. So an overall rating on the VSmoke, in particular the low 10 milligram, I'd give it a 7 out of 10 when used on your standard cartomizers. Those of you who are using drip tips out there, as I said, that's a whole other story. This is an excellent smoke to try on your drip tip. Right, as I said, I'd give it a 7 out of 10 on your standard cartomizer. Now, here's the E-Vic right here, and I've got a drip tip. All right, right here I have E-Vic with an IGOL single coil setup. It's a drip tip. I've had amazing performance with the VSmoke on this setup right here. What's funny, on some of the boxes it actually says to drip directly on the coil, and some of them say do not drip directly on the coil. I don't know why. I don't know if that's something just because this is new or what, but I've had some pretty good success just dripping that right on there. Let's go ahead and try that. Okay, so I'm gonna try the blueberry mint. This flavor just smells unbelievably amazing. It's a VG100, vegetable glycerin 100, 10 milligram nicotine. This is on the lower end. So we're gonna take that off. It's got the locking lid. It's got the nice needle tip on there. So just go ahead and put a couple drops right on there. Like that. Okay. And we'll take this guy, put him on there. And let's see if we have a difference here. All right, so let's go ahead and give this a few rips. mean, as you can see, when using a drip tip, dripping it directly on the coil, the performance is just amazing compared to your standard cartomizers. Unbelievable. Alright, so we've tried the Swedish Fish, we've tried the Blueberry Mint, now we're going to try the Watermelon Breeze. Alright, so I got the Watermelon Breeze on here now. This flavor is actually really good. This I definitely recommend, especially if you have a drip tip. Amazing vapor production on the drip tip. There's a 5.9 second rip right there. I'm actually an avid hookah smoker. I've been smoking hookah for about 15 years now. And you know, when E-Cigs came out, I was looking for something that could actually you know, help me replace smoking hookahs. I'm taking hookah everywhere I go. I would say that this is probably the closest thing. When you take the VSmoke and you put it on a rebuildable, you need a good battery, something like the E-Vic, drip tip, you're going to get a lot of vapor production. It's going to be very similar to a hookah, and this is actually ultra premium hookah flavored, so it's like equivalent to smoking a hookah. So I'm going to go ahead and do a few rips now of the watermelon. Unbelievable vapor production on this. Reminds me of a Jolly Rancher. I was talking about the hookah. You know, you won't see rips like that on any other E-Cig. Also, if you notice, I can continuously rip this without having any harshness in my throat. You know, a lot of vapor out there that I noticed, you can't take too big of a rip because you're getting too much of a throat hit. This, like a hookah, is super smooth, especially in the 10 milligram, where I can take a deep rip, fill my lungs up, literally blow out massive vapor clouds without it actually affecting me or even coughing at all. So all in all, let's come to a conclusion here. I'll give you guys a review. I won't really tell you too much about the flavor because that's kind of preference, but the sweetness of these is, honestly I'd give it a 9 out of 10. They're very sweet, they're like candy if you like hookah, if you like Jolly Ranchers, that type of flavor. This is probably a good smoke for you. Also, I recommend it in the 10 milligrams so it's not too harsh. You can take a bigger hit without really having that throat hit. So an overall rating of all the flavors, honestly, I'd say this is one of my favorite e-juices. Even though I gave it a 7 out of 10 on your standard cartomizer, I definitely recommend getting a drip tip. Another thing I was going to mention is I don't have the Blow hookah yet, which is Blow LLC's brand, the same company that makes these. They make their own setup. I do not have that. I'm planning on getting one here and reviewing it within the next week or two. So that's something you might want to check out and leave in the comments if you do already have one. Overall though, on the drip tip, I'd give it a 9.5 out of 10. I really enjoy this just because I'm a hookah smoker, and I think if you are a hookah smoker or you like this very sweet type of flavors, that you'll really enjoy this as well. So actually, I'll be reviewing a few more of the flavors from the Blow LLC Vitamin Smoke, VSmoke. I don't know if you've seen it on the shelves yet, but it's coming soon. This is Jedi Da Vinci signing off from Vape News Now. Go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel, like us on Facebook, check us out on Twitter, even check us out on Instagram.